Welcome back, guys. This is Backwoods Gaming. My name is Matt.
And I'm Brett, and we are doing Farming Simulator 22.
Well, y'all been waiting on this. We only done a couple videos these because it takes forever just to do one, and we're like, we just don't have the time.
We're going to in the future, though. Yeah, we are going to try.
We're just trying to get the server situation figured out, so we can't play on PC, then play on an Xbox because the servers want to be stupid. So we're just having to get a couple technology figured out.
But overall, I like this game. I really do. And I have gone back and forth between 19 and 22, because there's so many. I think 19 is just absolutely brilliant in so many different ways, and I do kind of like some of the upgrades on 2022. Especially we'll get into that, the things that I love and the thing that I hate about 22. So overall, let's just go graphic-wise. What do you think graphic-wise?
So I think they could have done better on the rain and the snow. The weather graphics, the thunder and lightning, they could have done better. Because even Red Dead Redemption's got better rain and thunder.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the graphics of the surrounding areas, I think they do a decent job.
They could have done better dirt graphics and grass graphics.
They could. I feel like some of that is lacking. I don't like the graphics of the different crops.
I don't either.
I feel like, when you're...
Cotton looks like rice.
Yeah, or potatoes. Potatoes, you're out there. I'm really having to look on there. I'm like, I've already gone over this spot. It looks really outdated in that regard.
To be honest, it looks like 2017. It honestly does.
Well, yeah, I would actually agree with that.
Because to be honest, the graphics haven't changed. Just the tractor looks have changed.
Yeah, but I feel like 19, I didn't have that problem. Like
19 was a pretty game.
I could just look at that, at the field and be like, okay, that is that.
But 19 was a pretty game. And I think the graphics were better on it.
I think it actually was. Now, I will say, the only thing I would disagree on that one about is I do believe the tractor graphics
are better on this one.
And the equipment graphics all the way around. They just look so much more precise.
Realistic.
Almost to the point where it almost makes you feel like you're looking at a real tractor,
Yeah.
I mean, the detail that they put into these is really amazing. Overall, I would give the way the game looks and feel, I can't give it more than the 6 out of 10 simply because of the things that you said when it comes to like the weather graphics, the some of the field graphics, the way the dirt looks, the way the crops look. Sometimes it really creates a problem inside the game about not knowing whether you've gone over something or whether you haven't gone over something. So I feel like overall, I can't give it more than a 6 out of 10.
Neither can I.
And that's sad because if you would have asked me what 19 was...
I love this game.
If you would have asked me what 19 was, I'd give that like 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I would, because the graphics look 100% better.
I think they actually do in a lot of different ways, except the vehicles.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So what about, let's say the mechanics of the game, the abilities that you can do inside
So one thing I do hate about the abilities on the tractors is the front end loader. They make it so if you're using a controller, it's complicated to operate the front end loader and the rear, because you're having to switch in between the front tractor and the back. You can't just operate it. You have to switch. It takes forever just for me just to get a scoop of dirt, because you're like, okay, why is the bucket more powerful than the tractor?
I kind of agree with you on that one. I feel like, I just feel like overall they've made it slightly more complicated and really a lot of unnecessary things.
Like you have to go by the whole interior of the tractor for your gaming setup just to operate it the right way.
Yeah, and I just feel like, again, I keep going back to 19, but I just feel like 19 was like the perfect mix of simulation and just, the realism, but also keeping it simple.
Yep.
And, like my son plays this game. He's 6 years old. He plays this game like he's obsessed with this game. He's finally figured it out. But there's still some things on it. He's like, okay, what do I do? He didn't have that problem on 19.
No, because 19 was a simple game. So I came from a generation of 2015. I made a big jump. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is big jump.
So 2015, I remember the mechanics were a lot easier. you can operate the boom a lot easier.
Mm-hmm.
This one, you have to have extra stuff.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And now the games are starting to require you to buy the joysticks, and which is stupid.
And I will say this, when it comes to it, when you get into other things, when you get into the logging and when you get into the, the belling and all that, there's different complications in that as well.
The logging is 100% you gotta have joysticks. You can't just operate it with you.
Yeah. So, I would say overall for mechanical abilities, man, this is another one that I want to give it a low grade, but I'm going to go with a 5 out of 10.
I'm going with a 4 because, to be honest, I hate struggling. I just want a game I can jump in, and I understand it's a lot of work to do certain things, but I can't enjoy just sitting there fighting a tractor.
Yes, I want to enjoy it. You got that right. I feel like a lot of games now, they don't understand that when it comes to simulation games. They're like, we want to make it as complicated for you so it feels realistic. But you don't want the complications to go with the simulation, in these games. You do want it to still be fun. You don't want this to be work at the same time.
If I wanted to, I'll just go hop on my tractor and do it in real life.
You could probably figure out that a lot easier than you probably could.
Yeah, because, you got to hold LB to operate this.
I know.
With left joystick or right.
So I'm like, overall, I can't give it anything more than a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Now, my biggest complaint on this game is harvest growth.
God, it takes forever.
Oh my goodness, they made that junk complicated. To the point where I'm even watching YouTube videos trying to figure out how to get my crops to grow.
So you go to 2015. You just you plow it, you drop the seeder, and it plants. You have to roll it, then turn plow it, then plant something. I don't want to do that much work.
I don't want to either. And I feel like the growth setting, when it comes to like 28 days, 1 day, the whatever kind of thing. I feel like, turn the seasons and all that different thing off. I feel like there's a lot of things that make this a little bit more complicated than it is. And I'll be honest, as much as I've spent probably 100 hours on this game, and I can honestly say I still haven't figured out the growth system.
Neither have I. I got on there. I'm like, okay, I'm going to plant.
Mm-hmm.
Can't plant because it won't put the seed in the ground. I'm like,
I know.
I never had this problem in 2019 or 2017 or 2015.
I understand why they did the seasons because, to make it a little bit more realistic on things. But I just kind of feel like, man, when I'm out there wondering, when is this thing actually going to grow?
Yeah, and one thing I do hate about this, it's hard to plant. Really, it is. I can't get that seed. So I'll plow a field. I can't just go ahead and straight out there and put the seeder in and let it plant. Yeah. No, they expect you to roll it and then turn it.
And if you don't have a lot of money, you have to buy a lot of equipment on that. And
just
that's
for one
thing you
field.
Really got to talk about is that and the harvest growth schedules and just the whole setting in general. I feel like makes it really hard for beginner players.
It is.
Especially
it's
to
hard
learn
for
and
6-year-olds.
Yeah, it really is.
It's hard for 6-year-olds to jump on this game and enjoy it because they're like, how do you plant?
I know. Well, when you have to get so many things and you've got a limited amount of money, it becomes a problem.
Yeah, because your starting out money is like $26,000.
Yeah, I know. So
what are you going to do with $26,000 in this game?
Well, you don't have very much money. There's no doubt. Especially when you got to get like 10 things for each field.
Exactly.
And things. So, but I just hate the harvest schedules. I hate not knowing if my things are planting.
I don't need to be told what seasons I need to
figure out with the settings and all that kind of crap. I don't like it at all. I personally would give it a 4 out of 10.
I don't think we need to be told when we're supposed to plant.
I don't think we really need that in a game.
Just let me get in there and plant and harvest.
Exactly. What would you give it?
I give it a 2.
2. I'm going to stick with the 4. And I still really feel like I'm being generous with this.
By the way, till this day, I still don't know how to plant in Farming Simulator. So comment if I need really help. I really do.
Now, on the biggest change from 2019 compared to 2022 is the logging.
Oh my God. The logging's twice as hard as I remember it.
Oh my goodness. The logging is so difficult that I don't even like taking the time out for it anymore.
So, this game is starting to get where you got to buy the steering wheels and joysticks. Okay, you're looking at joysticks, they're $200. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the only way you're going to operate this equipment in this game.
I know. And I feel like, it's just like you take a skidder out there, just anything where you're trying to cut down a tree or
You have to use a chainsaw because the grapple, you have to do so much just to cut and grapple.
Get it in place. This game just should not. This is just a game that just should not be that complicated.
I mean, I should be able to go out there and cut a tree with a cutter and it grabs it on its own. I don't have to mechanically grab it.
Look, I enjoy 19 with the logging. 19, I logged all the time on it. I didn't really have that much problem. This 2022 version of it, I just feel like
you gotta actually manually operate the grapples. It don't grab the tree itself. You have to manually close it, and you can't cut and close it at the same time because you're pushing two different buttons.
I just feel like it's just overly complicated, and each thing of equipment has its own real complication to it.
I agree.
That makes this game feel more like a chore than it does an actual
Because
fun.
I guarantee you, if we go jump in a skidder right now, we can run it no problem. You get on this game, you're going to take you 4 or 5 hours to figure out, well, what does this do?
Dude, I've tried doing the logging on this game so many hours on it, and I still have trouble with it.
I do too.
So I would give this a 2 out of 10 when it comes to
I'll give it a 2.
Because I just feel like, another thing, it almost deserves a 0, in my opinion, in that regard.
To be honest,
really does.
I watch a guy on YouTube. His name is FDR Logging, and that's all he does. But every single one of he has all the modded equipment. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of the guys has to have the nunchucks because they can't operate the equipment with the controller.
Well, I know, and it's complicated depending upon whether you're on the PC or whether you're on
The
your
Xbox.
or
But who wants to go spend an additional $200 just to run one piece of equipment in the game?
I know. That's the way I feel towards it. Now, as far as the things that I actually do really enjoy, and it's always been my favorite thing to do, is the mowing and the baling. And I love mowing on this game. I love baling on this game. I think it is at the height.
I'll sit there and mow for about 6 hours if I have to.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that one. I think this is where this game really excels. I think we are. I think this is.
I enjoy the
most
baling.
fun.
The baling is realistic. I love the mowing in this because when you're sitting there mowing and everything, you see the mower throw out the grass. That's what I enjoy. And I sit there and have to turn the grass over, and I love turning the grass over and then raking it back up because that makes the game a lot realistic to me, and I really enjoy it. And I think the mowing aspect was a lot better than the harvesting aspect.
Now I'm going to bring in a third opinion on this one. What do you think, Jensen? Say hi, Jensen.
Hi.
What do you think about the mowing on this game? Do you enjoy the mowing?
Yeah.
You do? See, this is my 6-year-old. He does a lot of mowing, things along those lines. He did all that logging, mowing, all of that on 2019. 2022, he has trouble with it. And I feel like that's a big problem with it. But overall, the mowing is probably the funnest part of the game, isn't it, Jensen?
Yeah.
Like, this is what we do. We mow, we bale. I love the rakes,
It's easy to mow grass, but it's hard to plant a freaking field.
Oh, it is. I would totally agree with you on
It's
that one.
hard to plant flowers.
It really is. But overall, as that, I would give it a 9 out of 10 for the mowing.
Oh, I'll give it a 6.
Did you give it a 9 out of 10, Jensen?
Yeah.
All right. They'll give it a 9 out of 10, too. Now, as far as the editing tools goes,
I enjoy the editing tool.
I think that is the one thing that is actually a step up
Build
from
a parking
19.
lot. You can build and fill in holes.
Jensen, the other day, what were you doing up there? Building concrete all over your tools? All over your fields? He was just building fields, building nice little pavements, little walkways, little things like that, and it made it more fun.
Made it realistic, kind of.
More realistic. Yeah, it really was. I really enjoy the editing tools features. I love the idea of the vineyards that you can create.
I love that you can buy. I love that you can go in there and buy buildings and barns and stuff and place them. And you can go in there and put concrete down to place a barn.
Yeah, and I will say this when it also comes to just the way the look and the feel of it is just absolutely amazing. But I loved.
Not many games you go in there and just edit the ground.
No, and I feel like you can get a driveway that looks really beautiful. Like I said, my son's in there. He's in there making driveways to his fields, to his things, and he's able to do that. I love that aspect of this game where it's simple in the editing tools when it comes to that. So overall, I mean, I would give the editing tools an 8 out of 10 easily.
I give it an 8.
I would give it a higher grade, but I still have trouble with the slopes and the...
Yeah, because when you say
like
you're
that.
smoothing, you're actually not. You're making a hole.
Yeah, I mean, end up making a pond when I really don't want to make a
So
pond.
let's move out a driveway. Now you got a big hole
I know,
there.
and now you got to try to fix that, and I feel like... So I try
and
to
you
stay
build
away
it
from
up, then
those.
you got a bigger mess.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, what do you think about, let's say, the weather on this game?
I hate it. They could have done better. Red Dead Redemption's got better freaking weather. It thunders, it lightnings, it hails, it snows. I mean, it's just a lot better quality.
No one ever finds him.
He likes it. Jensen likes the snow.
The snow
I
is-
have a problem with the snow.
The snow kind of looks like 2D.
It really does. Snow equipment isn't as fun as what I thought it would be.
No, you just so you push it with a dozer.
You can't make a snowman, can you?
Okay, you push it with a dozer. All it does is just leaves a foot gap in front of your blade. Then it shows it rolling.
Yeah, I feel like it's PlayStation 2 graphics. I feel like there's a
Modern Warfare graphics.
Yes, and for anything 2022, I feel like snow just should look better, should feel better. It's the one thing that feels like it's almost a mod in the game because it just doesn't feel realistic when it comes to this game in general. So overall, I'll give the weather on it. I don't have a problem with anything besides the snow.
I hate the rain. The rain looks like freaking little 2D drops.
It actually does. The rain doesn't look too
I
good.
give it a 3.
I'm going to be generous and give it a 6. What would you give it, Jensen?
0.
I'd give it a 0.
I agree with you there.
He gives it a 0.
I agree.
See, I was being generous. He's not so generous. Overall, equipment on this game. What do you think about
The graphics on the equipment are great. I love how the characteristics of each tractor has different power. Okay, I enjoy that
That is
part.
an amazing part of this game. Each one of these really depends upon. I mean, depending upon
So-
what tractor you get. I mean, is
The big,
will matter whether it changes.
the big butt and finds him. It can pull big things.
Yeah, the big ones can. Now, I will admit, I don't really like the big tractors in this game because of the tracks.
There's no difference in
Anything along
between.
those
There's no
lines.
difference between the big tractors. Honestly, in between the medium. So you can go buy a 60 horse in this game. Okay, look at it this way, and you can go buy a 60 horse in different brand. It shows the different powers of the tractor.
And we proved that. We actually did a video over
I understand
this
the video
specific
made me-
game.
Nice big bud.
Yeah, the big butt. He likes the big butt.
So we made it an hour and 15-minute video, but it describes how the tractors are.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and
I like the tractor with the clap.
what's your favorite kind of tractor?
All the tractors.
You like the John Deere?
I like all of them.
I like that. I'm a John Deere person. You got me into a Zetter because the Zetters
I
really,
love
when
Zetter.
it comes to small tractors, is the best tractors on this game. So overall, I mean, when it comes
The
to
biggest
equipment-
Zetter you can buy is in small tractors,
Yeah.
okay? But that small tractor is just as much power as the medium tractors.
The biggest difference between 19 and 2020 and 22 is
They
really
didn't
the
have
tractor
them.
differences. I feel like 19, I felt like every tractor was the same. If it's a small tractor, all the small tractors kind of felt the same, but not on 22.
The Zetter
2020
on this is
is
really
different.
awesome, to be honest. It's
I
like
know.
overpowering.
It is.
I don't use the center. I use the rest of the
You use John Deere.
Well,
But-
because his name brand.
He's a name brand guy. He born John Deere into a John Deere family.
Yeah, but the reason I'm a fan of a Zetter, I understand it's an overseas Russian-made tractor, but it's a good quality tractor.
It is a good quality.
It's made with pure. It's just really good quality. I mean, the parts are really nice.
Yeah.
So you can go buy a John Deere. You're looking at $60 for a filter. You go
Yeah.
buy a Zetter filter for $30.
Yeah. Overall, what would you give the equipment on this game?
I'm gonna give it. It really depends. 8.
I'm not giving a 9 out of 10 simply because I will like the differences. What would you give it, Jensen?
100.
He'll give it 100. I think that's better than the full score, isn't it?
Right? That's just triple our scores.
Yeah. Now, as far as the money that you make on this game,
I'm so mad about
I
it.
don't like the money system on this game.
So in 2019 and 2017 and 2015, there's a mod that you could download to get money.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, it don't give you that option. So the only way you can get money is by borrowing it or starting up multiple farms, in which I don't think you should be able to. I think you could just go in there and add the amount of money you want to start at.
I think so. I think that would be a good option to have on this game when you're able to say, hey, I would like to make this harder by having, let's say, $500,000. But that's a really good idea on that one.
I wish, because basically what I think it should happen is adjust your money. So like if you want to start out with $10 million, okay, $10 million, your farm needs to be set for that price.
Yeah, but you only get 3 options.
And so, but I honestly think I think you could get like a $10 million offer. So, let's just say you get a $10 million farm. All right, look at it this way. That farm is going to be adjusted to your money.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you could have like medium-sized equipment, medium-sized money equipment, but you'll have that $10 million, and you invest it into the equipment.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm just starting off on this game, I feel like everything's, like I said, on this game you're having to get so much per field, and depending on, no matter what you're doing, whether it's logging,
$1.2 million. You know how hard it is to get $1.2 million in this game?
Yeah,
it's awful hard.
Yeah, and whether you're doing logging, baling, or just field work out there, you are going to have to spend a lot of money on equipment, and I just feel like the money that you get for it just isn't enough.
The price of the equipment, I think, needs to be lower.
And as far as the money that you get back from it, I feel like you don't get really the amount that you need. So
you look at starting money, just basic farm, $23,000. What are you going to do with that $23,000? Buy fuel? Well, no, that's basically all your money. Yeah,
it really is. It really is. So I feel like overall, what would I give with money? I give it like a 4 out of 10.
I'm going to give it a 2. I went lower. I'm sorry.
I kind of understand that, because I just kind of feel like, the money system just doesn't feel, I keep going back to it again. 19 just felt a lot better.
You could get money easier than that.
Yeah, you could. And if you didn't need all the equipment for, each specific field.
Each field is going to, like if you want to plant cotton, you got to buy expensive equipment just to do something.
Now, as far as let's say the animals in general, I don't really notice that there's that much of a difference. Of course, they're better graphic-wise.
I don't ever fool with animals much, but, to be honest, I think the animals are a waste of my time because I don't make much money off of it.
Yeah, you don't. I kind of like the horses on it now more on this game than I did.
At least you can ride them.
Yeah,
but,
you can ride them.
They could put saddles on them.
When you run out of money, at least you got your horse.
Right. You don't need fuel for them.
Yeah, you don't need fuel for them. So overall, I feel like the animals for me are an upgrade from what it was on 19. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10 on that one.
I'll give it a 5. That's just being generous of me.
Now, the mods is where this game is really at its best.
Honestly, this is going to all the creators in the game. For the mods, I really enjoy y'all's mods, every single one of them that y'all made. Only thing is, y'all make different mods for PC. When I go to my Xbox, totally different mods. Yeah. So if you could put your mod, I understand it's going to be hard to put mods from the PC to the Xbox, but the mods are so great. They come in so handy. Like, the game don't provide you enough equipment. You can go to mods and download the equipment that you want.
Yeah. Now,
whoever invented the dozer and excavators and dump trucks, I'll give all my hats to you. That is awesome.
See, I feel like I think the mods are just absolutely amazing on this.
They are. They come in handy.
They are absolutely amazing. The one problem that I do have is, and you touched on it, is from the Xbox to the PC, the mods are different,
and the servers are different, which I hate.
And like let's say I want to do instant growth or something, get my fields where they don't have that on Xbox. They don't have that on Xbox, but they have it on the PC.
Just like the mud graphics. That's a big
difference to me. And the mud graphics. And there's a lot of things that is really different.
The Superman mod's not on there either.
Well, yeah, that's true. But there's a lot of mods just in general.
For the
Even
PC.
Equipment and different things that is different between the PC version and then the...
I just wish someone would come out with a Ford dually, I would love to see that on this game.
I think this game really has some amazing features.
They don't have many cars though.
They don't have. You're right. They don't have very many cars, and I do wish that maybe they would add a little bit more with the mowing
Exactly.
to it. But I think that's will come in time.
Like I would like to see regular brush hogs.
Yeah.
Just regular brush hogs, and that'd be pretty cool with a freaking wheel in the back. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think that actually would be cool. But
they got a bat wing, but they don't leave grass.
Yeah.
I would like to leave grass.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, I would say if you're talking mod wise, this is probably one of the better games out there.
I'll give it a 10.
I mean, oh man, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 simply because I feel like I don't like that the mods are different, depending upon the
between different systems.
Between the systems, and I kind of feel like maybe they could use more when it comes to like the mowing mods and the truck mods as well.
I think I would love to see more dualies in this game. They don't have dualies. They have a jacked up similar to a Dodge.
Yes.
But they don't have the you don't have Toyota, you don't have Fords in there, you don't have really good dualies in there.
No. So overall, I mean,
I would love to see the first gens in there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sick.
So I mean, what do you think of Farming Simulator 22? Do you think it's an upgrade over 19? Or do you
Not
think
much. It's back here. But I'm gonna give this game an overall rating of an 8.
I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Because I have spent a lot of time on it. It's a game that I never get tired of. I always enjoy playing it. But at the same time, I feel like it's a slight downgrade in the fun level. Simply because of the logging.
It's stressful if you think about it.
Yeah, the logging is stressful. It is like with you've got like crops like potatoes. It's really hard to be able to harvest them appropriately. I have problems with a lot of that. The rolling and all the equipment that you have to buy for this
just
version
for
of
one
it.
Field.
I feel like a 7 out of 10 is a really good.
The reason I'm giving it an 8.
for that.
I love the equipment in the game.
Oh yeah, the equipment.
The equipment and the mods are what's doing it for me.
Yeah, the equipment, and look, that is actually a big thing to me too. That each individual tractor has its
own
minuses
pulling
and
power.
pluses. Yeah, and like we said, we tested it ourselves. We have a video here on Backwoods Gaming of us just testing.
It may be
tractors.
long, but you sit through it. It's kind of entertaining.
It actually is because it will show you what tractors are the best. And believe me, there are some tractors on there that is utter trash.
And that's not even half of them. We only did 15, and we're like, God, it takes forever.
I know.
We're going to get back to that series pretty soon. It's just right now we're trying to get things going, trying to get the channel.
It's like even the different mowers and stuff.
Exactly.
We've done that too as well. And
But we didn't post it.
No, we didn't post that video. But I mean, that is...
There wasn't much difference.
There is... It's amazing. I mean, if you just sit down and look at the differences between each individual thing on this game. So that is a plus. But overall, guys, let us know what y'all think in the comments down below. Do you love it? Do you hate it?
Please like and subscribe.
What
and
would you
comment.
rate it? Yes, please like and subscribe. And as always, guys, thank y'all so much for watching.
Y'all call back. Y'all here?
Take care, guys.